So in this class we are going to discuss about the RF power amplifier. In the last few classes where we have discussed about the microwave power amplifier design and the stability circle we have drawn to check the stability and also to make the stability whenever the transistor is not having unconditional stability as its inherent characteristics. Then we have designed the microwave power amplifier for maximum gain, and we have designed the microwave power amplifier for specified gain. The specified gain amplifier has been designed by deliberately mismatching the input and output matching network to reduce the gain from the maximum available gain of the entire amplifier system. So this class describes RF power amplifier amplification mechanism. Here we are going to discuss about the class C, class D amplifiers. The power amplifiers are classified as class A, B, C, D, E, F and so forth based on the Q point placement. When the Q point is placed exactly at the middle on the DC load line, then the output signal will be a perfect sinusoidal signal. Suppose the input signal to be amplified is in the form of sinusoidal. So a faithful reproduction is available only from class AB amplifiers because the Q point is fixed at the middle on the DC load line. When we move the Q point from the middle on the DC load line towards the cutoff region, then the amplifier will be classified as class C, D, E and F and so forth. When we fix the Q point close to the saturation region, at the saturation region we know that the current will be 0 through the active device. Therefore, the power dissipation at the Q point, that is the DC power dissipation, will be 0 because the current Q point current or the DC current through the active device will be 0 when the Q point is placed very close to the such cutoff region. Therefore, the amplifier efficiency is more because the amplifier will be going to drive only when the amplifier is in need of amplifying the input signal to be amplified. Whereas at all times in idle conditions, that is the device is not going to amplify the signal where the Q point current is 0, therefore the dissipation will be 0 and hence the efficiency will be high. So this is the basic principle of the power amplifier and the classifications of class A, B, C, D and so forth type of amplifiers. So this is a one general power amplifier model. Here this is the source from where we are going to pump the RF signal to be amplified. This is the active device. Here we have taken the MOSFET as our active device. This VDD is the bias voltage. This voltage is required to fix the Q point at the specified level on the DC load line to operate the device at class A, B, C or D and E. So, depends on the category of amplifier, we need to provide the required IDC-Q, that is the Q point current and Q point voltage. For that we have supplied the VDD bias. PFL is the big fat inductor or coil. This is the RF inductor or RF choke, and this RF coil will not allow the RF signal towards the VDD. This RF inductor only allows the DC current from VDD, because since it is a coil, the corresponding inductive reactance will be omega L. At the DC current, the omega will be 0 at DC. Therefore, the omega L becomes 0. So, the inductive reactance is 0. It will be ideally short circuited to the flow of DC current to fix the Q point through the device. Whereas, at the RF frequency or at the microwave frequency, the omega is large enough. Since the omega will be large, at the RF, it is a very large quantity. At RF frequency, therefore, the product omega L is a large quantity. Therefore, this inductive reactance will be ideally infinite. It will be just like a open circuit for the flow of RF current. Therefore, this inductor is acting as a coupling, decoupling inductor to decouple the RF current, only to couple the DC current to flow through the device. And it is a PFC, big fat capacitor. It's a very big capacitor. This capacitor only allows the RF current through this path, whereas the DC current, that is the Q point current, will be prevented to flow through this path to the output circuitry. And this section is LC, parallel LC tank circuit. This LC play a major role in the power amplifier to select the sinusoidal output, because most of the power amplifier will be working with the Q point very close to the cutoff region. Therefore, the output of the power amplifier will not be sinusoidal. So, the output of the power amplifier will be in the form of pulsed sine wave. So, it will be pulsed one, and the conduction angle also less than 180 degree. In class A amplifier, we know that the conduction angle is 360 degree. That means the entire full cycle sinusoidal wave can pass through the device, and the magnified version of the input sinusoidal waveform will appear across the load. Therefore, the complete sinusoidal shape is reproduced at the load. This is only possible at class A amplifier, whereas in class B and class B push-pull type power amplifier, where there will be a two transistor, one transistor will take care of one half of the cycle, another one transistor will take care of another half of the cycle. One will be the positive half cycle, another one transistor will take care of the negative half cycle through the center taped transformer. That one is acting as a coupling device. Therefore, in class B push-pull type also, the output is not sinusoidal. It will be pulsed type output, and there will be a crossover distortions will be also there, because one transistor will take some time to turn on or turn off. During that time, the sinusoidal cycle corresponds to the turn on transition time, will not be abruptly or instantaneously turns on or turn off. Because of that problem, this introduced the crossover distortion in class B push-pull type amplifiers. Therefore, the output is not exactly a sinusoidal waveform. Instead, it has some crossover or some distortion will be happens whenever the sine wave crossing the reference line or zero line. Whereas in most of the power amplifier, where it is going to work close to the cutoff region, therefore the output is not a sinusoidal, it will be pulsed type output. And we all know that a pulse which consists of a number of sinusoidal components through the Fourier transform. When you take the Fourier transform of this pulse, which has a number of frequency components, one is the fundamental, and let the fundamental be a low frequency. Therefore, the cycle is, so one is the fundamental sine wave, and another one is the harmonics of this sinusoidal wave. So this will be the another one waveform, this will be yet another one, this is the another one component, this is another one component, this is yet another one component. These all are the harmonics of the fundamental. So when we passing through this composite waveform through a low pass filter, we can be able to extract only the fundamental component, or we can use one LC tank circuit. The LC tank circuit will be resonant at only a particular frequency. This LC tank circuit is designed to resonate at the frequency of interest, let us say F0. F0 is the fundamental frequency, this one. Let us say this one is 2 times of the F0, this is 3 times and 4 times, that is n times of the fundamental frequencies. These all are n times the fundamental frequency. When the tank circuit is designed for F0, that is the fundamental frequency, then this tank circuit only allows the sinusoidal component corresponds to the frequency of F0, whereas all other frequency it will be in non-resonant conditions. Therefore, those components or harmonics components are not going to be allowed by this tank circuit. Therefore, the tank circuit will be acting as a selective network to select the fundamental frequency to be passed to the load. Therefore, at the load, we will be getting only a sinusoidal signal at the frequency of f0, which is selected by the LC tank circuit. This is the role of the LC tank circuit placed in power amplifier at the output stage. When the active device is acting as a current controlled current device or some controlled current device in general, where we can use the LC parallel tank circuit. Suppose the device is active device is operating as a switch. So the switching circuit will be dual of the current source. Therefore, for the switching type circuits, we will be going to use the LC series resonant circuit. So, remember, when the active device is operating as a switch, where we will be using series LC resonant circuit. Suppose the active device is operating as a current source, then we can use LC parallel tank circuit to select only the fundamental frequency to be passed through the load. In general, to get the sinusoidal output from the pulsed output of this active device output stage, we will be using this LC tank circuit. Therefore, the LC tank circuit, which plays a very major role to produce the sinusoidal output, because the input is sinusoidal, at the same fundamental frequency we will be getting the output also as sinusoidal. But the processing through the active device, which gives only the pulsed type output, not a sinusoidal output, because it is operating very close to the cutoff regions. Now, class C amplifier. In a class C power amplifier, the gate bias is arranged to cause the transistor to conduct less than half the time. That means it is a input sinusoidal signal, let us say theta versus amplitude. This one is 360 degree or a 2 pi radian. This is a pi radian or 180 degree. So, this transistor to conduct less than half time, that is, this transistor only can conduct less than 180 degree. So, this transistor can conduct up to this level only. This will be the conduction angle. The train current consists of a periodic train of pulses, where the train current is represented as ID. ID is the RF current, which is equals IDC. IDC is the DC current. Actually, it is the bias current. This current is driven from the VDD supply. IRF is the RF current. The amplitude is varying with the amplitude of IRF, and the shape of the signal is sinusoidal, therefore sin omega 0 t, where omega 0 is 2 pi f0. It is the fundamental frequency to be amplified. Actually, the IDC will be negative of it most of the time, where the offset IDC, which is analogous to the bias current in a linear amplifier. Remember, this is not a linear amplifier. Class A amplifier is a type of linear amplifier. So here the IDC is analogous to the bias current in a linear amplifier. It's actually a negative for a class C amplifier. The overall drain current ID is always positive or 0. Remember, IDC can negative, but the overall current will be positive or 0. That means the IDC is far less than IRF sin omega t, this average value of this sinusoidal RF input signal. The overall drain current ID is always positive or 0. Drain current is a piece of a sine wave when the transistor is active and 0 when the transistor is in cutoff. We can assume that the transistor behaves at all times as a current source, that is a high output impedance. So the transistor here is acting as a current source. That's why we are going to use LC parallel tank circuit. Otherwise, we have to use series LC resonant circuit if the transistor is acting as a switch. Because we have a high Q output tank, the voltage across the load remains substantially sinusoidal. This is the high Q, high quality factor tank circuit. Since the quality factor is high enough and the bandwidth will be narrow, and hence the selectivity will be high. Therefore, it will select only one frequency component from the number of frequency component which refers the pulsed output. Drain voltage and current for ideal class C amplifier. This is the voltage across the drain and source. Is a sinusoidal voltage. This is the VD, that is the bias line, VDD. This is the bias voltage we have supplied. On the bias voltage, the sinusoidal waveform, voltage waveform is swaying. When the voltage is low, which is corresponds to the impedance of the channel, that is the channel which connects the source with the drain. It could be an N channel or P channel, whatever channel it is, the channel impedance will be very low, corresponds to the voltage, the lower level of the voltage. Since the channel impedance is low, therefore the current through the channel will be maximum. Therefore, corresponds to this point on the time scale, the current is maximum. And this current is IDC plus IRF. So, this current can swing from 0 to maximum. This maximum will be corresponds to the lower VDS voltage, which gives the lower impedance on the channel. When it is 0 or VDD, there is no current flows through the channel, or ID. ID is the drain current. When it is maximum, this point corresponds to high impedance on the channel. Therefore, N or P channel which has the high impedance now, therefore the current is 0. So, corresponds to this time scale, the current is 0. And this current flow is occur less than 180 degree. This one is 180 degree. So, less than that amount of 180 degree, the output current flows is happens. Therefore, the conduction angle is less than 180 degree in class C power amplifier. Similarly, this again it is 0. For the next cycle, so up to this one cycle is over, and for the next cycle the same thing is repeated. Whenever the voltage comes low, the current is maximum. Whenever the voltage goes up high, the current becomes 0. So this way is repeated for all the forthcoming cycles. So this is the voltage across the drain and source and the current through the drain. To find the total angle over which the drain current is non-zero, we first rewrite the expression for the drain current in terms of a cosine rather than a sine. Now we have to compute the total angle over which the drain current is non-zero. Now let it be, this is the angle over which the drain current is non-zero. We are going to compute the angle. It is a sinusoidal type. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to shift our reference axis. When we shift the reference axis there, so this is now my new reference axis. For this new reference axis, now it can be represented as a cosine waveform rather than sine waveform, and the cosine is a even function, sine is a odd function. There is another one flexibility we will be having in the mathematical computation to reduce the complexity taking place in mathematical computation. Therefore, we are going to represent it as a cosine waveform. Just we transform our reference axis, and this one is 2 pi. Let it be the total angle is 2 pi. So this edge will be pi. With reference to the axis, this edge will be minus pi. Totally we have 2 pi. So this is the one. So we have taken only one half of this, that is up to pi. Actually this is the 2 pi. Now it can be represented mathematically as ID equals IDC plus IRF cos omega naught t. So the fundamental frequency is not changed, it is still omega 0. Such a maneuver changes nothing, since the time origin is arbitrary anyway. With this modification, the current pulses appear as like this. Now setting the current equal to 0 and solving for the total conduction angle 2 pi. Now you setting this current is 0, because in other parts where the current is 0, here the current is 0, now we set it to 0. So when we set that current is 0, this ID is 0. Now the IDC will be equals minus IRF cos omega 0 t. Okay, and what is the omega naught t is called theta. Therefore, the cos omega naught t will be cos omega 0 t equals minus IDC divided by IRF. Next, what is the omega naught t? It is a theta. Therefore, the angle pi, here the angle is pi. Therefore, pi equals cos inverse of IDC divided by IRF. So, my total angle is 2 pi, therefore, we multiple by 2 both sides. So, the 2 pi equals 2 cos inverse of IDC by IRF. So, therefore, the 2 pi equals 2 cos inverse of IDC by IRF. Negative sign will be there. Anyway, the cos of minus theta will be cos theta only. Okay, if we need, we can put negative. Which may be solved for the bias current as follows. IDC equals minus IRF cos phi. So, how much bias current that we need to supply will be equals minus IRF cos pi. So, the angle pi decides the bias current also. We are now in a position to compute the average train current. Average train current ID bar equals 1 by 2 pi, because we have to take the integral for the entire one full cycle. Therefore, it is 1 by 2 pi, whereas the current is finite value only over the range of pi, minus pi to plus pi. Therefore, minus pi to plus pi. The current is IDC plus IRF cos pi of t pi. And now you take the integral, it will be IDC pi, where after applying the upper and lower limit, it will be 2 pi. So, it will be 1 by 2 pi, 2 pi times IDC plus 1 by 2 pi IRF cos pi, sin pi. And after applying the upper and lower limits, you will be having sin pi minus sin of minus pi. So, the sin of minus pi, which gives us minus sin pi, therefore, we will be getting 2 times of sin pi. After substitution with the expression for IDC, this yields IDC equals IRF by pi of sin pi minus pi cos pi. The train efficiency is eta maximum equals 2 pi minus sin 2 pi divided by 4 times sin pi minus pi cos pi. So, this is the train efficiency of this Class A amplifier. With this, we can conclude today. The Class D amplifier we will discuss on the next class.